Okay guys, what we're going to do right now is we're going to go through the compensation plan, but we're going to do it a little bit differently than I would normally do it. We're going to go through what we call the networker's compensation plan. So if you look at a comp plans are comp plans. They don't really have any meaning. They just have percentages in front of them and data in front of them. And this is going to be a very aggressive version of the comp plan. I'm going to speak to the networker at the highest level. What I found out is if you don't understand comp plans, you're not going to understand this if I go halfway. So I'm going to go all the way. And for those of you guys that really understand comp plans, you're going to get this. And for those of you guys that don't get it, that's okay. Just ask the person who does over the next couple months. There's usually two types of people. There's a left brain thinker and there's a right brain thinker. A right brain thinker is creative, out of the box, doesn't like rules. Any right brain thinkers here? Okay. And then there's a left brain thinker, analytical, balances their checkbook, that type of person. Any left brain thinker here? Nobody. You're lying. There's got to be somebody here. Okay. So here, for the left brain thinkers, you're really going to dig into this. Right brain thinkers, this is for the left brain thinkers, the percentages and everything. Right brain thinkers, just go ahead and turn this over and draw pretty pictures for the next half hour. So that's what you want to do with this. Now. And when it comes to compensation plans, if you're a true networker, what you should care about is behavior. I'm a firm believer that percentages don't matter, behavior does. As soon as I get somebody in the first phone call, like, what's your comp plan? How many levels does it pay? I'm like, this person does not understand network marketing. Because behavior is what drives a comp plan, not percentages, right? Oh, well, our percentages are higher. So what? If I've got 10,000 people joining and you've got 10, what does it matter if your percentages are higher? What matters is what behavior is it driving so that so many people are coming aboard so that you can actually maximize what is even on this piece of paper anyways. So I'm really going to focus on behavior, behavior, behavior for the purposes of this particular compensation plan. We're going to work left to right on the comp plan. And go through the ranks, etc. And then after I go through the ranks, we're going to go through each way of getting paid one at a time. So diving in, first thing is there's 3 ways that you can get started. That's what this piece of paper is. This is the 3 different ways that you can get started. There's a basic distributorship. A basic distributorship is a toe in the water guy or gal. What they're doing is they're adding on $49 to the consumer offer, which was that kit, was the page with the 4 kits. So if this was a consumer offer, and then somebody says, well maybe I'll try to make money with this, they're probably going to add on $49 to one of these kits. Okay, the average is they'll buy the 99 with the 49. That's usually where it averages out. Okay, now when somebody does this, it'll happen. 32% of all of your distributors will start on the basic track with product. They don't start with $49, they start with $49 with product. There's no value in selling a $49 envelope with paperwork because there's no commissions on that, okay? They have to have product for a check to be released. So you want to do $49 plus product if you're going to sell at that level. 32% of all of your distributors will join $49 plus product, okay? The second one is your executive success system. 60% of all of your people will join with the executive success system, meaning for every 1 basic track distributor you get, you'll get 2 executive success systems. Okay? Executive success system is $4.99. The executive success system is $4.99. It's going to come with over $500 worth of products, samples. In fact, every product that's listed on the consumer offer is inside the executive success system, so they can get everything, try everything, sample it out, etc. You are maximizing the comp plan starting at the executive success system. You can buy an executive success system at any time. You will have a significant amount of people that start at the basic track and then buy an executive success system later. But 6 out of 10 of your distributors will start with the $4.99. Lastly, the executive success system with samples. This is the $9.99. You'll have 7% to 8% of all of your distributors will start there. So 7 or 8 out of 100 will start there. Okay? I'm now going to transfer my language from the word distributor to the word promoter. We actually don't use the word distributor in our company. We use the word promoter. So from this point forward, every time I use the word promoter, that is a distributor. So they either take the challenge or they promote the challenge. And you might say, well, Nick, that's semantics. And I say, I know. Wars have been waged over semantics, right? It's unbelievable how many people will promote a challenge versus distribute a product. Go walk up to somebody on the street and say, if you had a choice to promote a challenge or distribute a product, which one would you rather do? How many guys are guessing that they'd probably rather promote a challenge, okay? So those are people that start a business with us are promoters. The rest of the consumers are taking the challenge, okay? So those are the three ways that someone can get started. That's the percentage breakdown. Majority of them are going to start with the $4.99. Let's dive in. Starting with the position ranks. First thing, in order to be qualified to earn a check in our comp plan, you must have 125 in auto ship volume. Something that's a big difference, though, and something that a lot of people miss when they look at the paper, is that all of your customer volume counts towards your 125. Meaning, you do not have to spend 125. You could technically spend 0, but as long as you have 125 in customers on AutoShip, you're covered, okay? Now, this is big difference than a lot of product companies in our industry where you go buy 125 and try to go, quote unquote, resell it, okay? This is a customer-driven model. Now, underneath that is the 200, and basically it's 200 non-auto ship volume. You can't require auto ship, therefore you have to offer two options, 125 in auto ship or 200 in non-auto ship. As you can imagine, most people qualify with the auto ship. Once you have a 125 in auto ship, you're a qualified associate. This is where you'll make 0 to a couple $100 a month. Then it goes to director. I want everybody to circle, star, and highlight the position of director on your piece of paper. This is the building block of the comp plan. This is the Lego. This is the driver behind the entire plan. It took us 4 years, 4.5, to figure out the data behind our largest months and correlation between what was creating our largest months. Because there's a lot of data to sift through. 4 years is 48 months worth of months, and then think of all the possible metrics that you could examine. New customers, new distributors, new executive success systems, retention, new BMW qualifiers, people that hit the top. I mean, there's 100 different metrics that you could analyze. And it took us 4.5 years to figure out that there was only one that correlated every time between our largest months, every time a month grew, and this number going up and increasing. And that was the number of new directors. Once we figured this out, we now knew what the driver was of our entire company. We now knew that every month that we grew, we had a growth in directors. Some months we'd grow, but we'd have less regional directors, or less new distributors, or less active associates, or whatever, but we'd still grow. There's only one number that mattered every single month that we grew, and that was new directors. So now that we know this, what do you think the whole plan revolves around in terms of our focus in messaging and behavior and marketing? Create directors, create directors, create directors, create directors, create directors. So if you look down below, it says Rising Star Director. Basically, this means if you hit director in 30 days or less, we give you an incentive to get director done in 30 days or less. You can participate in our weekly pools. I'll go through the weekly pools later, but what this means is you either make weekly pools with us or you don't. And the only way you do make weekly pools with us is if you hit director in your first 30 days and become a rising star. Okay? Here's the message, though, behind this. When you get started, here's the message. As a promoter, it's all this. Get your 3, 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 get your 3. That's the message. We don't say go refer 3 active legs and get 2,000 in volume. If you do the math, if you go refer 3 499s, 3 executive success systems, and you have 1 customer start anywhere in the team, you're the director. So the second somebody gets started, we're just like, help them go get their 3 as fast as possible. Help them go get their 3 as fast as possible. That's the mission in life, right? Get them to Rising Star as quickly as you can. And in fact, our Getting Started training even is called 7 Days to Director, right? Getting Started training, 7 days to Director. They got 30 days to hit Rising Star. We're basically giving them 4 shots at it. Oh for 1. Oh for 2. Hey, you got it the 3rd week, right? So 7 days to Director. Now, I'm going to keep saying this and keep harping on it because this is the whole thing. Get your 3, 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 so you can become a Rising Star Director. 83%, crazy number, 83% of everyone that reaches Director in your team are going to do it in 30 days or less. Which means if they don't do it in 30 days or less, they're probably what? Probably not going to do it. Okay? So we have a core metric here that you know exactly who to focus on, which is the person that hits Director in their first 30 days. Because if they don't do it, they're probably, there's a 17% chance that they're going to do it, which is not very favorable. Okay? So once you hit Rising Star, which is hit Director in 30 days or less, now it's all about going to Regional Director and qualifying for your car. Okay? Once you hit Rising Star, which is what we just went over, you're going to get, you can qualify for the weekly pools, you get, recognition, etc. It's all about going out there and qualifying for Regional Director and earning your car. Well, let's talk about technically. Technically, you need 3 active legs of 125 or more in autoship, and you need 12,500 in total group volume. No more than 7,500 of it can be counted out of one team. So you can't have a team that goes and does 15,000 and you're now a Regional Director. You got to go do 5,000 outside of that team that went to 15,000. Now you can get paid off all of it. We're not one of those comp plans where we say you can only get paid off 60% of it. You can get paid off 100% of it. But you must go do another 40% of the volume outside. So you can only ride your power leg up to 60%. Okay? Now this is how you hit Regional Director. A Regional Director, the average income is $1,800 a month and change. $1,800 a month and change, and it'll qualify them for a $600 a month car lease allowance for the black BMW of their choice. Used, new, buy it, lease it, we don't care. As long as it's black, it's a BMW, $600 a month. If you don't want the BMW, $300 cash bonus. This is my favorite picture down in the right-hand corner. That is the ViSalus logo made out of black BMWs in a parking lot in Anchorage, Alaska. If we could put 36 black BMWs there, I'm pretty sure we can put them in your marketplace. Okay? So that's a little bit of what's possible. Now, this is technically, let's talk about behavior. Let's talk about messaging. Stars and cars. That's our whole comp plan. Stars and cars. Nothing else matters. Stars and cars. All right, what do I got to do? We got to get you to Rising Star as fast as possible. How do I do that? Get your 3, get your 3, get your 3, get your 3, get your 3. All right, I got my 3, I'm a Rising Star. Now what? Time to get your car. How do I do that? Go break Rising Stars. You go break approximately 6 Rising Stars. I say approximately because, it could be 5, it could be 7. You go break approximately 6 Rising Stars and you're qualified for your car. So when you think behavior and giving somebody something to do who has no idea what network marketing is, all right, here's our comp plan, stars and cars. People really want that car, but they can't do it until they go Rising Star. So go Rising Star, help 6 people go Rising Star, and you'll be really close to qualifying for your car if you haven't already. And that's what they go do. They don't need to know anything else. I'll make $2 grand a month, give me that car, let's go. Okay? Every position from hereafter is simply divisible by stars and cars. So I would circle and star Regional Director because that is the second most important position in the comp plan. Let's talk about the car program for a moment and its pros and cons. The car program is an inverted car program, meaning you don't have to get to the top to qualify. It's at the beginning of the comp plan, not at the end of the comp plan. Which, when you think about it, makes a heck of a lot more sense than when you put it at the end of the comp plan. Why? Because why would you give someone a car at the end of the comp plan who already bought the car at the beginning of the comp plan when they were pretending to make money a few positions ago? And you know I'm right. They were pretending to make money way earlier in the comp plan. That's when they bought their car. So, and then furthermore, how many people in the company really get excited about the same 3 people that now got something new, right? They don't care. They really don't, okay? They don't get excited about that. So we created an inverted car program where this is not a hype, this is a fact. It is the lowest qualifying car program in the history of the industry. Now, once this happened, I promise you, you've seen it already, you can't go back. Every company is going to have to go to an inverted car program because as a leader, you can't compete. You cannot compete with a company that's putting all the first-level leaders in cars when you're in a company where you're the only one in the car going, deet, deet, hey guys, you'll get one of these someday. And they're like, they got 5,000 of them over there, right? You cannot keep your lower level to retain. You can't retain them as long as a company can that's got that type of car program, okay? Which is why you're seeing all of our competitors right now starting to roll out some sort of inverted car program. I mean, at least pick something other than a BMW, guys. You know, so you know, seriously, you got to pick the same car in the same color. I mean, we didn't pick a white Mercedes or a pink Cadillac. You know, get creative. All right, the pros of the car program. Number one is obviously your lower level leader is going to run for this quickly, and you're going to give somebody something massive early on in their business. So if you handed somebody $600 cash every month, or you put them in a black BMW, which one do you think is going to have a more drastic impact on their warm market, the cash or the car? The car will, by far. It's not even close. Well, here's the crazy thing about it. They're qualifying for the car, and they're only 60 days, 90 days into the business, which means they've only talked to 20% of their warm markets. By the time they get the car, 80% of the warm market they haven't even talked to yet sees them pull up in this thing and is going, what the heck is that? Oh, I haven't even had a chance to tell you yet. I started promoting this 90-day challenge 90 days ago, and they gave me this car. Well, maybe I want to promote that challenge too. So obviously you can see the benefits there. When you do an inverted car program, and it takes you 5 years to qualify for the car, by the time you qualify for the car, your warm market doesn't care. They're like, it's about time they give you a car. You've been doing this thing 5 years. Right? So, and guys, I know this because I was a part of a company with an inverted car program. It took me 4 years to qualify for the car. And I was excited. You know how many people on my team qualified for the car? 1. In 8 years. 7. 1. Me and 1 other. Okay? Right now in the company today, we have 2,800 BMW qualifiers. We are, to our knowledge, the 3rd largest car program behind Mary Kay and Arbonne. Arbonne's been doing this for a couple decades, and we will pass them by the end of this year. We understand, the data we understand, is that they have 5,000 cars on the road, and we will pass that by the end of this year. We're only a couple-year-old company, to give you guys a reference point, right? Other pros of the car program. This is probably the most, it's right up there. Number 1 or number 2 in terms of most importance. One of the things as a leader that you have a struggle with, and that we've always had a struggle with, is the retention of your part-time leader. Because it's hard to push a part-time leader. Why? They're part-time. So they're working a job, yada, 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 so you don't know how many times you should call them, you don't know if they're focused or if they're not focused. It's too hard. Well, with this, every one of your part-time leaders is in the car. So when they go to work every day, they get into your business and drive it to work. And then after work, they get back in their business and drive it home. They're thinking about the business every time they get or see their car. So the part-time leader is constantly thinking about their business. And even better, when they had a bad day at work and they go get in that car, oh man, I'm so thankful for ViSalus. They start calling people like crazy because they can't wait to get out of the job. So guys, it's the ability to keep your part-time leaders focused is another bit of this, and retention is massive. Other pros. When a marketplace has 6 to 10 BMWs in the market, your marketplace will explode. Because when you throw an event and people drive up and they see 7 or 8 or 9 black BMWs parked outside, everyone is in. Now they're just walking inside to see if that stuff tastes any good or if anyone's lost any weight. But in terms of the business side, they know it's working, right? It's like, I always have the BMW qualifier stand up and I compare it to the size of the room. 1 out of 8 to 1 out of 9 will be the amount of people that qualify for the car versus how many are in the room. You'll have 100 people in the room and a dozen BMW qualifiers. That's usually the ratio with our company, right? So, Freddie, how many BMWs you got in your team in Miami marketplace alone? 40 or 50 in the Miami marketplace alone. When you pull up to a Miami event, it looks like a BMW convention, okay? Now, people ask why we pick the same, they got to be one color. Because it makes a statement. You know, you can have a car program in a company. I know there's a company that just launched. You can pick any car and one of these 2 colors, right? Well, when a guest pulls up into the parking lot and it's any car and it's 2 different colors, do they have any idea whether or not it's your company? They got no clue. But when they pull up into our parking lot and they see a dozen black BMWs lined up in a straight line and they all got a told you so license plate on the front of them, they know, right? And the uniformity of it, there's a reason why teams in sports wear the same color, right? There's a reason why. Because it makes a powerful statement. When it's all the same color, it makes a powerful statement. If you got 32 different colors, it doesn't have the same power behind it, okay? The downsides, 2 downsides. Number 1 is clearly you'll have people that can't qualify credit-wise, which is why we launched the cash option. Because we didn't have the cash option to begin with. So now somebody can say, hey, you know what? I didn't want the BMW because I don't like them. I use the cash to pay for my car. And they can say that with comfort, right? So that's one downside that we've been able to cover. Here's the second downside that people think, and you'll quickly find out it's not a downside. Well, Nick, it's so easy to qualify for. Don't you have a bunch of people that fall out of qualifications? Your answer was in your first statement. Nick, it's so easy to qualify for, which means it's easy to what? Re-qualify for. It's as easy to re-qualify for as it was to qualify for, so no, we don't have a bunch of people fall. Think about it. If a car program is set at 100 grand in sales and you fall back to 80, that's a long way to go. That's right. But if a car program is set at 12.5 and you fall back to 10, I promise you next month you'll sign up 3 more people to get back to 12.5, right? So guys, it's as easy to re-qualify for as it is to qualify for. Okay, let's move on. From here, it's all about BMWs. Stars and cars, stars and cars, stars and cars, stars and cars. In order to get to the next position, you need 3 people in a car. Or $40,000 in volume, no more than $24,000 taken out of any one team. Average national director makes about $3,000 a month on average. But the easy way to do it, our people on our team don't say this. They don't go, okay, here's what you do. You go get 40,000 in volume with no more than 24,000 out of one team. That's the 60% rank criteria. And you got to have 3 active legs. That's how you hit national director. That's not what they say. Here's what they say. You want to go national director? Go put 3 people in a BMW. That's how you're going to get there. 12.5, 12.5, 12.5 is 37.5. They'll make up the few thousand. I've never seen ever in history all 3 end exactly at 12.5, right? One does 13, one does 14, one does 14. They're over. Yep. 3 cars. 3 BMWs equals national director. Presidential director, 80,000 in volume, no more than 48,000 out of one team. This is the average income at presidential, 6,000 a month. But all that is just words. Half a dozen BMWs. Put a half a dozen people in BMWs, 6, 7, 8, you're going to be a presidential director. If it's all in one line, it's not going to apply. You've got to have it balanced to some degree in 2 to 3 teams. Ambassador, 12 BMWs. 12 people times 12,500 equals 150,000, right? Stars and cars, stars and cars, stars and cars. Get your 3, knock out Rising Star, help 6 people do it, get your car, help 12 people get a car, go ambassador, make 10 grand a month. You'll be blown away with the people that have hit ambassador in our comp plan. Because when you combine the simplicity of the message I just gave you here, plus the simplicity of the 90-day challenge, you combine those two together, people fly through the comp plan ranks. It's like, okay, what do I got to do to make 10 grand a month? A dozen BMWs. Well, how do they get their BMW? 6 Rising Stars. How do they do that? Get your 3, get your 3, get your 3, get your 3. Oh, that's easy. Let me go line up 12 people to put in a car, right? That's their, people get started in our company going, I'm going to go find 12 people to get a car, right? That's their belief coming into this. But what we do is we focus people on $150,000 in sales will get you to the top. You know what that sounds like? A lot. Impossible, right? How do I make 10 grand a month? 12 BMWs. Go. Okay. You want a car? You want a car? You want a car? And that's how the average person in our company is succeeding so quickly. Okay, once you get past ambassador, you got 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, and then a couple ranks that we just added. So I'm going to jump to the whiteboard here, and we're going to draw a couple of these up. If you are an ambassador, and you break an ambassador in your team, you're a 1-star ambassador. The average income at a 1-star ambassador is about $15K a month. You break a second ambassador in a second team, you're a 2-star ambassador. Average income, $20K a month. Now, notice that in this scenario, I built it in depth. I did that to show you guys that you can personally sponsor them, or you can go deep in your group and find them, and that will count for you as well. And infinite levels in depth. You find somebody at your 20th level and they hit the top, it counts for everybody level 1 through 19 for 1-star ambassador. In this case for you, 2-star ambassador. Okay? Here's 3-star ambassador. This is your upline right here. Three ambassadors in 3 separate teams, that's 3-star ambassador. You can personally find them, you can find them in depth, or they could be even put on your team from somebody above you. There's no comp plan that is this flexible at the top for rank advancement. Nobody offers all 3 of these. Usually they say, well, they can count them, but you can't. Well, we're not going to do that. If they put them underneath you, then you get to count them. So you get to count them all 3 ways. 3-star ambassador, average income, $30K a month. Last month alone in my team, we broke 2 new 3-star ambassadors. 2 new 3-star ambassadors just last month alone. Okay? Last month alone in my team, we broke 15 new ambassadors, by the way. Just last month. Not the company, just our team broke 15 people to the top position. 4-star ambassador. Number 4 and number 5, you must personally enroll and place into one of your 3 leaders' organizations. Okay? This is behavior. Let's stop and talk behavior. One of the behaviors of our company is that you're going to enroll people, you're going to place them in depth, and you're going to be rewarded for it. You're not going to be punished for it. Anybody ever seen a comp plan where you get punished for supporting your leaders? This will not be that plan. You will be rewarded, and guess what? So will they. I don't care about the binary where you got 9,000 people in your leg that you don't earn a dime off, right? You're not rewarded for that. Those are just people in your report that you get to tell somebody one day that you had 9,000 people in your team. You didn't earn a dime. Okay? What I'm talking about is that they're going to get, they're going to be rewarded, and you are going to be rewarded. You're both going to be rewarded. So here's you. You place this person down here, underneath this person there. You're now a 4-star ambassador. Average income of a 4-star ambassador, $45,000 a month. But what is this person now? If you're a 4-star ambassador, you're what? They're a 1-star. What I needed you to have a gigantic aha moment on is that person that you put there counted for them and it counted for you. It counted for both of you. No comp plan does that. Okay? So like I said, we're going to reward them and we're going to reward you. And then the last one is you put this ambassador right here, number 5. And average ambassadors, guys, right now, $85K a month. Okay. Even though I drew these as in you put someone here that put ambassador, I also want you to understand this person might be a flop. You can find that ambassador in depth. It's a personally enrolled organization, not a personally enrolled person. Personally enrolled organization, not a personally enrolled person. These are the most flexible ranks that you'll ever find at the top of any comp plan. Okay, let's move on to a couple positions we just added. Last month, by the way, in our team, we broke 1 new 5-star ambassador. And then last month in my team, we broke the very first company's Royal Ambassador, which is the next position. It was the same guy I was telling you about. That is the #1 earner in my company and my team, both. What you need to do to hit Royal is after you hit 5-star, you need to help 3 people go 3-star. And that's the same way that we drew out. It could be in depth, it could be placed underneath you, it doesn't matter. You know, because I believe he's going to make about $140K this month, that means Royal Ambassador average income's $140K. So he's the only one. All right. We just added these positions actually beginning of this year. From there's a Crown Ambassador. A Crown Ambassador is 3 5-stars. My best guess is going to be about 180 grand a month. And then lastly, when you have 5 5-stars, it's going to be Global. And Global is going to be that $200,000 a month and beyond position. Okay, so that is how you hit the top, and that is how you walk through the positions. I'm going to recap from beginning to 5-star. Here's how you get to 5-star. Break 5 ambassadors. How do you break 5 ambassadors? 12 BMWs each. How do you get 12 BMWs each? 6 rising stars each, who all went and got their 3. On back up. Get your 3. Get to rising star. Break 6 rising stars, get your car, break 12 cars, hit ambassador, help 5 people go ambassador, go 5-star. I just took you from 0 to 85 grand a month, okay? Simple, simple, simple. And that's one of the reasons why this is growing so fast. On top of the 90-day challenges, our comp plan is simple to discuss. Stars and cars, stars and cars, stars and cars. Circle ambassador on your comp plan. That is the 3rd and final most important position. Those are the only 3 positions we talk about. Stars, cars, ambassador.